Cool. So, hello all. I'm Daniel. I am a maker. I am getting some motivation by sharing my stuff with people. I'm very much an extrovert. I live off of other people's energy. I'm a vampire in that way. And I've got all this time with the pandemic when my work hours have been cut. I've been doing some stuff, but I find myself sitting and staring at most of my projects instead of actually doing it. So I thought giving myself a bit of agency, a little bit of a community, even if it's a theoretical internet community, might give me a little bit more motivation to get some stuff done. So I thought I'd make a short video to sort of share a little bit about my shop, which I'll start with a tour. I'm not going to cut anything because alright, so I do have to cut some things because you cannot flip it, but it's a garage. The entrance is sealed because it's a little cold outside today. It's a little bit chaotic right now. Storing bikes in the front are all my roommates and neighbors. Some random art on the wall people have collected over the years. This is a shared space, but I use it more than most. The couch tends to accumulate stuff, as all flat surfaces do. I found those legs somewhere. I thought they were neat. Some projects, these are projects that are either done or objects I'm trying to sell on Facebook or other places. Anywhere I can sell anything. But we've got, tool storage that's going to be organized. My foam for a project I'm hoping to do, some cosplay armor. My sled for my table saw. The project there. Couple projects on the work table. I keep this down. Workbench is one of my projects I'm gonna do as part of the video. I'm gonna make a workbench. This is a really cool old piece that is sort of a modern roll front desk I found on the side of the street that I think is gonna be really cool. Planer wood, like wide wood storage back there. Some clamps I store there on an old door. Got some chandeliers hanging that I'm going to work on with a few people. 2x4s and that sort of lumber. This beautiful old chair, I need to figure out how to fix wicker, is sort of another project I'm hoping to do. Old typewriter, that's my roommate's. That's a failed project we'll talk about in a different video. And the radiator cover my landlord likes keeping in here, and this weird Chinese thing that I'm going to turn into a vase stand. Other than that, there's, storage of stuff and my workbench, which is now better lit than it was before. Covered in assorted masks and junk right now, but organization of tools, bright lights, and all sorts of other fun stuff. And a fridge, for drinks and stuff. Okay, well. One of my biggest challenges, there's a lot of challenges with this shop. Namely, my power is one power strip connected to a circuit that is tied into other parts of the house, so can't use a lot of stuff at the same time or high powered things or like heating elements, which is why I'm so lucky it stays fairly warm. And also water access is very inconvenient, so for like painting and washing brushes. I think this will do for now, just this little bucket and some rags, but yeah, a couple things left to be desired. Oh, and the lighting is horribly wired, but I might fix that at some point, we'll see. So I've got this paint that I found in my barn when I was back in Indiana, and it's like, I don't know if you can see, it's looks like some pretty interesting old paint. So I'm gonna put it on this thing and see what happens. I don't know. Should be cool. I will say that I'm doing a lot of finishing work right now because I'm trying to live and learn and make mistakes and figure out how to do it. So don't this is not instructional. I don't really know what I'm doing, and when things mess up, well, that will be part of the learning experience. It's got like this goopy, I'm gonna keep it away from my good thing, but it's got this like gunk that's formed at the bottom of it. So I'm gonna stir it up really well and see if I can get it to incorporate. But yeah, smells like motor fluid. So we'll see if we can get it to go. It's actually stirring in pretty okay. This is just a thing I found on the street. Everything in here I found on the street. I should say that too. Like almost every single thing in here I got for free because it was being chucked out. I'll point out the instances where it's not from the street because they're much less frequent than the things that are from the street. Yeah, those 2x4s I bought. And the tools, I did not get the tools from the street. Most are from my barn. That mixed up really well. I'm gonna use that paint. And it is not latex, so I'm gonna stain everything horribly with whatever this is. I'm gonna use a brush I don't care about. Man! Oh, it was a learning experience. I learned a lot about the paint. Learned a lot about working with, working with enamel. It's basically spray paint in a can, and I messed up a whole bunch of stuff with it. A whole bunch. I was really dumb, because I was just like, you know what, whatever, I'll just do it. And, got a bunch of really hard to get off paint all over the place in my shop. Did I get any on that? Oh, thank God. Didn't get hardly any on this typewriter, but I got some on the project, so I was hoping that would be the last coat for that one, but I guess I have to paint it again. Fortunately, they're dark. What I'm more upset about is I got, like an idiot, I got paint all over the wood. Now, good news for me is that most of the stuff I have to sand down and restain, but yeah, don't use chip brushes on enamel. Yeah, no, didn't think about that. The fumes are down. I left for a while to let the paint dry. But yeah, no, that was just, it's a good thing I have some it's a good thing I have some sort of organizational system, and I keep my finished stuff far away from where I'm working. Learned a bit about paint today. I got this black paint all over my shop now, but I'm rubbing it off the floor. I've found a good use for it. It will get used in the form of an aging treatment, I think. Whenever I get back into props, it smudges really nice, and I think putting it in the corners, it's so liquidy and it's not great. I'm gonna use it. It'll get used, just carefully and with a lot more plastic up, because now I've added a lot of sanding for me to do on some of my old hardwood pieces there. Anyway, the way I look at it this way though, all this stuff was at some point trash, except for the tools, but all this stuff was trash at some point, so any value that comes out of it. Right, so we've got these. Oh shoot. Every time I look at something, it's got a little bit more dust. Finishing is hard to do with dust in the air. Well, we got these two. Got another coat of polyurethane on them. It'll come out okay. I'm not sure how pleased I am with it. I'm not sure what else I can really do, since it's not, it's just rough ply. I think it will do what I want it to do. But I think the project for today is going to be building a workbench. This is a table, it's nifty, but I would like a workbench that's on wheels and a workbench that is a bit more solid. So I have a bit of floor space, or at least a way to get a bit of floor space here in a second. And we're gonna set that up. So let's check it. Right, so making a workbench, first thing I gotta do is square up all of this plywood. I get all my stuff off the street, people just throwing stuff out, so it's all got funky, dumb cuts in it at weird and exciting angles. And I ideally would like a vaguely square workbench, so I'm gonna see if these have a square side or a factory edge, and see what size these boards actually are when I cut them down to square. It's the first task. I'm gonna show you something, what I did there. So this piece was pretty square up. Whoever cut it, these are actually fairly parallel. Wasn't super sure how parallel or how straight. So I measured from each corner 45 inches. I could probably get another inch out of it, but I'm gonna cut it at 45. And then I used my big old square boy and drew a line from 45 on both sides. And you can see that it's not quite perfect. Which means that somewhere either the angle there and there isn't perfect 90, or maybe this is not perfectly straight on the end here. But it looks like a factory edge, so I'm pretty sure. But I'm just going to cut right between those lines and call it a day. It's a workbench, and it's not quite a work of art necessarily. Depends on who you talk to. So another thing, since I work with trash, basically, my resources are sort of my limiting factor. So I was going to use this piece and have I wanted a really thick tabletop for my workbench. So I was going to put these two pieces of 3/4 ply together. But this piece looks more useful for other things compared to this piece. Actually, I do need a project I could use this for. I'm gonna measure another thing. But see, I've got to think about, because it's a bit of a hassle to get wood. So I'm thinking through all those things as I make these various projects. So I think I'm gonna use this piece because it looks a bit less useful to me. This is just a bit more of a hassle. Maybe I could use it for that. See, I'm thinking about it. We'll see. Another issue with this shop is I don't have much space, so finishing usually shuts me down because I can't cut pieces. But that one's touch dry, so I'm not too worried about dust getting on it. So, but yeah, no, can't do more than 2 things hardly at a time here. workbench, ain't it? I have to suck these in a bit more. I'll have to check all the levels on there. See how flat it is. Probably be good enough for me, but or maybe not. God damn, it is at a wonky angle. Great. So, as you know, it's wobbly. I think it's because my frame was a little bit wonked, and I thought I could warp it back into direction. I think I'm still going to assemble the second frame underneath, see what that does, and then I'm going to probably cut legs short, I think, which is a dangerous game because I could just keep cutting them all around in a circle. So I gotta think the floor is not really flat. Nothing in my life is level. But let's go back to the time lapse. Okay, so I'm going to do the thing that I hate doing. I'm going to take it apart and try and fix it properly, since I'm going to use this bench a lot, and it should probably be stable and level. That's the hardest thing to do. I hate it. But it will pay off in the end. I hope so. I don't know how I'm going to fix it. Good thing it's all screwed. Right. So, made a bit of an improvement. Brought it down from like 3/4 of an inch to maybe 1/4 inch, which is pretty good. I think I have sacrificed the integrity of my shelf because of it, and I've added a support in the front to try and get these down. And hopefully when I put this board on, it'll help flatten it even more. But I should be able to use the screws to up and down and make the top pretty level. Yeah, you know, I'm glad I took it apart, actually. Doesn't feel like it's taken that much longer. I do think I'm gonna buy some food All right. Post-lunch break, or point is I'm back down here. I've decided, after thinking about it, that a level work surface is not important to me for the work that I'm doing. Because a lot of the work, I'm not doing a ton of totally new building, but I am doing a bunch of like repair work. So I think what's more important is that it's sturdy. So I'm just going to screw it together, get it solid, and then adjust the legs heights. Well, I guess I could adjust the leg height up. Actually, I'm going to adjust the leg heights to make it sturdy and at the right level. as opposed to the other thing, as opposed to trying to fix this warp, because sometimes you get stuck with bum wood, and you know that's just what you do when that's all free. So, I mean, all it's costing is time and some screws. I guess if I worked out an actual, oh, I bought 2x4, so this is like a $10. This is a $10 project. Right. So I did one test cut. There might have been a single frame of on, but I'm gonna do another test cut. So the goal of this. I need to get a better place to put those. So the goal of this is a sturdier workbench that hopefully I can do cuts on. I just spilled a bunch of Dremel tools all over the place, which is a little annoying. I'll have to clean those up, but after this is clean up, so. So, let's go ahead and do the most frustrating cut, which is to cut something with the jigsaw. It vibrates all over the place. Might even vibrate the thing. Oh man, where's my power? I'll cut that out. So, yeah. One day I'll afford music for this. So, let's try this. Oh, I love that. Let's see if I can show you the difference from what sort of thing I had been working with. What I had been working with was trying to clamp it to this type of table. And just that vibration, it's not great. It's got a bunch of weight on it, so it wasn't as noticeable. But oh my gosh, this is going to be most excellent. Well, I hope that looked kind of nice. Wood organized on this side, workbench large enough for one project. Now I just got 10 million more projects. I need to reorganize this half of the room. Every day I clean up my workbench, but that's just every single day it ends up looking like this. Ooh, I'll take this point to mention my water bottle. It's an old hydrochloric acid bottle. I got it from my chemistry professor in high school. He was just chucking them out. It's a cool bottle, and I was like, I'd drink out of that. And he was like, not unless you wash it. But it's like been used for water so many times, there's no hydrochloric acid in here. But don't pick up a bottle labeled like this and drink it. Don't. Unless you know what's in it. Unless you pull what's in it, don't drink it. That's just true for everything. Don't drink things you didn't put in the thing. That's a mystery surprise you don't want. I mean, I guess if you go to a bar, then you didn't make that. Yeah, unless you're paying someone to do it to you, don't get it done. This is why I don't give advice and why I just build things. I'm gonna open this too, and then I'll tell you why this chair is here. This is the project that I was working on. I hired an artist, Jomani. I forget her Instagram handle, but it will be linked in any video or thing that has it. I'm about to reveal this. I think I'm going to change the camera angle and show you what she drew. It's really fucking cool. Oh my god, I did that whole thing without recording it. But I just giggled like an idiot. Check this out. I love that. Oh my gosh, okay. Everything I like, all the things I've been saying about like, oh, this and that's not perfect on this, or I don't like the finish entirely, I don't care anymore. I'm still gonna fix it. But I just like, oh, you're just walking around, just like, look, all this stuff, some furniture and some stuff, cool, weird. Well, that's kind of nice. I imagine this sitting in like, you know, on a coffee table, and you're just there. And then just like, oh, what's a little peep, and then just look at that! Oh my gosh, police going crazy behind me. But look at that. Ah, I love that. Oh, and you'll never notice any of the yes. I'm sure I just scraped up all the sides of my finish. Oh my gosh. Okay. I am pleased as punch in regards to that. Wait, no. I hope the angle's alright. I wish there was some way to like forward-facing camera mirror it. I'm sure there is. Oh wait, I can. Ha! I'm so excited for this. I've got a shop that's pretty clean. I've got a project that's almost done. And yeah, I'm vibing. Well, I'll show you last thing before I put this away. This piece of wood I left out. I also want to say again that if it wasn't obvious from everything that I'm doing, that I am very much an amateur. I wouldn't even say I'm a journeyman. I don't know what I'm doing, ever. Most of the time. And I am modeling this channel after Adam Savage's Tested and all the one-day builds he does, mostly because that's just how I talk and how I interact, like having a camera to talk to about, even when it's time-lapsing, I talk to the camera. To just like be like, oh, I'll do this, or I can do it this way, is just really helpful to me personally. So really, like, I mean, the whole other bit, it's mostly just a self-help, but I think that watching a total amateur do something in a style that is comparable to one that's being done by a real professional who's been doing it for longer than I've been alive, I think that that might be really interesting to sort of see a side-by-side, same format, but different skill levels. So we're going to keep going. I'm going to time-lapse. Copycat, copycat! Just realized that this is really thick for a seat base. When you put it up on top of the seat, this is the wrong way, by the way, I have to cut angles on them, but just like when it comes up on the seat, it's gonna add another with the cushion on it. I mean, it'll come up to there, it might look alright. Just definitely didn't consider the thickness, something for me to remember in the future. Anyway. just want to open it and get on video because that just is so much fun. And it's in the drawers now. It's actually set on the drawers. God, that's cool. Every time I do that, I forget about how if you look at it from the front, you know, the drawer sticks out a little bit. You know, I almost like that because then it makes you be like, oh, what's wrong with this? Nothing's wrong with it. It just looks super dope. Maybe. I'm gonna get a can of spray sealer to hopefully maybe even out the finish on it. Yeah, just like a spray polyurethane or something. But yeah, now to clean up and end the day.